We're live now. All right, let's get this music.
Giddy
going.
up.
Giddy up. I do bark every now and then. The bark came from when I was younger.
Yeah.
All right, listen.
I
Listen
learned
to
to
words.
stay strong. Concrete in the dirt I was raised on. Know how to put in work. Grinding all day, you know it's game on. My skin is thick, yeah, it's tough. Running, yeah, we stay alive. Ain't gotta look nowhere else. All of this greatness inside.
Thank you so much to all you listeners. Episode 41 with sitting here with Todd Knowles, the owner of Premier Gas and Grills in Green Cove Springs, Florida. Turning up the heat is the name of this. Is the tagline, the title of this.
I like
of
it.
this episode.
I like it.
I know, right? You
Yeah,
get
I do.
the pun.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I never. David will tell you. Dave. Oh, wait a minute. Dave is boycotting me for some reason.
Oh, no.
Hey, Dave, right here, buddy.
What's up, Dave?
Yeah, exactly. We love him. No, but he would always. He knew I never would come up with a title until we sat down.
No, I like it. I like it.
I like to drift. That's when you come up with good ideas, right?
It is.
So you have been in business, not just. I'm not talking about just Premier Grill.
Premier Gas and
Gas
Grills.
and Grill. Thank you. You squared me up a couple times. In Green Cove Springs, Florida.
Green Cove Springs.
Green Cove will come out of him every now and then.
Absolutely.
Every now and then. I don't think you should be shy about it.
No. It's
My
heritage.
barking is North Kakalaka.
Yeah.
We give it a little.
So I'm a Middleburgian.
Okay, Middleburgian.
Yeah, I'm a Middleburgian. Grew up Middleburg.
So you have seen some serious change.
Oh, what a change.
Yeah.
What a change.
Dirt roads?
Oh,
Were
all
you that
dirt
far
roads.
back?
All dirt roads.
On Blanding as well?
I believe
Probably at least one lane each.
218 and Blanding was the only thing paved.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, I think Alligator might have been paved.
Yeah, let's see.
But
did we come out here to buy beer or did we go to Duval to buy beer?
no.
They didn't sell beer on Sundays in Clay, right? No, it was Duval. It was Clay
I'm
that
not
would
sure.
sell. I know
it?
because
Okay.
everybody,
Duval came to Clay County to buy beer.
everybody blamed First Baptist downtown.
Yeah.
And so we would come
Well,
to Clay
You know
to buy
what?
beer.
You know what's funny about all that? If you travel around, like
Yeah.
I've traveled, if you look at my store, Premier Gas.
Scoot this a little closer to you. Right there. You're good.
So my store,
Oh, yeah.
Premier Gas and Grills on Highway 17. I'm
Right.
right next to Saloon 17, the bar.
Is that where you are?
I'm right next to Saloon 17, the bar.
All my tattoos are right there.
Oh yeah, the tattoo part is
yeah,
right there. Yeah.
Frank.
So yeah. And
Yeah.
so I was actually telling somebody Frank's popular.
Oh man, Frank.
Yeah,
but
Gypsy Tattoo, is that what it is?
Gypsy Tattoo. Shout out to Gypsy.
Gypsy
man.
Tattoo.
They
Yeah,
did my
yeah,
whole sleeve. He did my whole
Nice.
sleeve.
So I'm just right there by Gypsy Tattoo, Saloon 17.
Yep.
But if you look at Saloon 17, it is like maybe a mile outside the city limits of Green Cove Springs.
Yeah.
And then if you look at Boogerville Bar, it's about 2 miles south of the city limits of Green Cove Springs.
Got him a little trapped
So
in there.
city limits of Green Cove Springs at one time had to be a dry county, dry city. So, but you can travel 301 and look at the same thing.
Isn't that
like,
crazy?
Like you go outside of Ocala,
Yep.
and just outside of Ocala, you have Spar and Citra. Well, there's a bar right outside the county.
Time out. I got more damn tickets than Citra.
Oh yeah.
I mean, coming around that corner, that popo would sit there, and I'm just looking and smelling this citrus,
Right.
and thinking, do I want orange juice? You know, you stop and get that little orange juice.
Yeah.
Man, you
That's
took me
it.
back a day.
Yeah, back in so you know right where Citra
But they
is.
made you slow down.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
like 45, 30, because they wanted everybody to see the Citra. I knew what they were doing.
Oh yeah,
It was
they-
good business.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, they
Uncle-
bring money to their town.
Right. Uncle was probably the sheriff.
Right.
Hey, let's slow that thing down
Hey,
a little,
slow them
Pawpaw.
down so they stop in and pick
Right,
up
exactly.
some oranges.
Golly.
Oh yeah, but you would see bars
Yeah.
like this is all over the country. I mean, you especially Florida and Georgia. I've seen it. but
301, really.
yeah, like a bar just outside of Dry Town. So it's like they didn't accomplish a whole lot by making these rules.
And now 301 circling back around. It's getting all cleaned up and new roads, and it's a nice ride.
Well, and it's like they say. Everything comes back every
It
50
does.
years, whatever,
Yeah.
whether it's bell-bottom jeans or,
Yeah.
but you see things coming back, and even in Jacksonville, look at downtown Jacksonville.
I know.
It's
I know.
in the next 10 years, you go back to like 1940s when downtown Jacksonville was probably big and popular before I was born.
There was furniture stores.
Yeah,
and
everything down there.
Yeah.
So now you have, buildings being built, and I think grocery stores coming down there.
They're doing it in the shipyard in Green Cove, right? Aren't they starting to build?
I'm not sure what they're doing there.
They got
I'm not
plans
sure.
around 23. Once 23 gets done.
Oh, the next 10 years for Green Cove.
Ronnie Robinson's making some money.
You're not going to stop the growth.
Yeah.
You're not.
No.
I mean, like everybody hates it. You know, I grew up here in Clay County, and it's bittersweet. It's good for business, bad for personal.
Right.
But you're not going to stop the growth. It's here.
I was 2 years ahead of it when I was looking for this building. Wasn't ahead of it, but there was buildings still available. And where that vape shop is, man, whoever that owner is, he's ornery. He's got that office right next door or whatever.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get him to budge. And these vape stores, man, they can pay so much money. But it's right on 17.
It's mind blowing. It's mind blowing. I know.
Yeah. I have a buddy that owns like 5 of them. And I mean, they make good money.
I know. I guess I should, instead of getting a grill and fireplace business, I should got a vape business.
Just so K9. No, we're just kidding, people.
Just kidding.
God, dog, let me drift a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not him. Todd Knowles has a great business.
Listen, I like lighting people's fire. You know what I mean? Whether it's in the grill or the fireplace.
So help me with this. So who was the first real entrepreneur that you think of when you, from a child or a teenager, or could be somebody you know, could be your dad, could be in your family, out of your family? Who was that guy as a kid you went, dang?
Man.
Mine was Bill Rydell.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that's you.
that was
You're
me.
good.
I'm
You're
just
good.
let it go. It'll go to
You're good.
voicemail. That thing never stops. So, you know, talk about getting sidetracked. So the funny part is all 3 of my kids and multiple people who know me, I've talked about tattoos.
Right.
I've talked about getting sidetrack wrote right here on my arm because I get sidetracked a lot. You know what I mean?
Is it okay? Hang on a second. Is it being sidetracked, or is it your brain runs at such a pace that sometimes you got to let it run out in the field and just run a little bit?
Yeah, it runs.
Okay, because
it runs 140 mile an hour
Right.
from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m.
And every now and then it's got to get out and turn loose a little bit.
Right. It's
Like
gotta
that
break
dog
loose.
that's been sitting in the
Been
rain.
sitting in the rain all day.
And,
yeah,
and you open that door and he's like, I have a husky, and he just runs around the pool.
exactly.
And it circles, the zoomies. So we get the zoomies a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
I say you let that thing
well,
run.
and we want to medicate kids for that nowadays.
Okay, now we're talking.
I've never medicated. It's taking people and filtering them and giving them a purpose and
God-given
guiding them.
gifts.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like I feel like people say, you know, hey, he's OCD. I hang all my stuff hung in a closet perfectly. Like, here's my long sleeve shirts, here's my button up shirts, here's my jeans, here's my dress pants. Everything is. I feel like I'm the right one, but they make it look like you're.
Because you're organized and disciplined.
Right.
Yeah.
But they make it like,
Oh, yeah.
you're the weird guy. But
And
no,
you're like,
I'm
your stuff's on the ground.
yeah, like mind blowing. But
No, but hang on. My middle boy, now he's in the Air Force now. He's 24, 25. I remember when their mom came home and said, I mean, I traveled a bunch, and she came home and she was like, the doctor said that, you know, we need to put him on this and that. I cussed. I might have even thrown something. I don't think I did, but I'm gonna give her the glory.
Yeah.
Not at her, but like just.
Right.
I said, "You're never put my kid on him. He will learn what," and he learned how to develop with the skills that he had. And we all have strengths and we all have weaknesses. Now, I'm not saying that I'm a doctor. I'm not saying that I've dealt with fully autistic on the full spectrum. We have people that I'm friends with. That doesn't make me an expert. I'm giving my opinion for my son for what I knew. I think there's some that it helps and they need it.
Right.
And I would trust the doctors. But for me, I don't think there's anything wrong with second guessing them.
no, and then it's like
We're so quick to throw a
it's
pill
so
at
quick,
it.
so quick,
fast.
Like it's about a profit thing.
Yep.
And I do, like you said, there's people that do need help.
Yep.
But I would say over half the people, it's just, no, let's guide them and direct them. So I own a business.
Yeah.
And I have employees.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have to learn the skill set of that employee.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have to guide them and use them in their best assets, whether it's customer service, whether it's cleaning a toilet,
Data
whether it's
entry,
whatever their skill
accounting,
is,
right.
I have to learn their skill and what they're best at and guide and direct them and put them in that spot. And everybody has a spot.
Yeah.
And so, and I tell my people, hey, yeah, you know, sometimes I'm going in 12 directions. And I know that if you're, you know, I have a son, I have 3 kids, and my oldest, he's very like by the book,
Right.
straight. And so we clash a lot.
Right.
You know what I mean? So because, you know, he has to go buy a rhythm and buy a calendar and buy, but I can be all over the place and then I rein it all back
Control
in.
chaos.
Yeah, control chaos.
Yeah.
And then my daughter, she's identical to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then my youngest, he's kind of like half and half. So
I have my 3 are like that. That's
Yeah.
pretty interesting. Control. David, I wish this sometimes where I wish he was here. David recently, as we've shut down the Would You store, has recently had to deal with a lot of the ownership side, while I have had to deal with other things. And he came to me finally, and he texted me one day, and he won't mind me saying this. He was like,
Yeah.
I'm Max, Brett. Now, he said it even a little more intense than that, but he was like, I'm Max. And I knew what he meant. You would have, the minute you heard it on the text, you would have heard, I know that moment. And I called him, I said, we're going to be all right. And I called him, I picked up a few things to lighten the load a little bit and started dealing with some other things because I didn't realize how tapped he was. But he came later and he goes, I get it now. Process and people and everybody doing what they're supposed to do without me having to micromanage. I don't want to micromanage. I can't.
Right.
I can't get done. If it's only what these 2 hands can do, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
And people forget. And so owners just push and they lean, and people don't want to follow people they don't believe in. You know, that doesn't mean there's not a stern talk to be had. You know, I'm fixing to re-enter the world of working under people. So this will be interesting for me.
And that is tough. I mean, it's
Yeah.
when you've had your own business and different things, and it can be done.
Yeah.
I was actually, where was I at? A few weeks ago, I was with somebody. Oh, I know where I was. I was actually I went on a little 3-day cruise, and I met a husband and wife, and he had his own barber shop for like 23 years. She had her own business for 20 something years.
Mm.
And we just got to talking, you know, sitting at the bourbon bar or whatever, you know, on the cruise ship. And it was really wild because like at 14 years old, he just started cutting his own hair, and then he started cutting friends' hairs. And then by 17, he's opening up a barber shop. And then that's what
Wow.
he did for, you know, whatever it was, 23, 24, 25 years. And his wife had started a business, and they had that. And then they sold them both off in the last like year and a half, and both had went to work somewhere. And I'm like, but they were super tickled pink because like they're just in a
I
situation
don't have
that
to make all the decisions.
yes.
There's a relief.
Yeah, when you do that for 20, 25 years,
Yeah, 30. No.
and then you can just go, you know, punch the time clock, so to speak.
I get to make my lunch. I get to go home. I
Right.
said this to my son. I was like, man, at 4 o'clock.
Your phone is not ringing at
No.
6 o'clock. It doesn't ring on Saturday.
No.
It don't ring on Sunday.
No.
That is the difference in today's people with businesses 20 years ago do not understand people with business today
We don't.
because it's never stopped. Texting.
yeah.
Like I text at 5 a.m. on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Hey, I was just thinking about the job you're working on at my house, and I wanted to tell you about this.
Yeah.
I'm thinking 5 a.m. Sunday morning, and you're texting me? There's no breaks.
Yeah.
It's just wild.
Especially as you develop those relationships, people don't realize when you do. I mean, we love the relationships we develop in retail, but they can be exhausting.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, and
I love what I do.
Yeah.
I love what I do. I love like interacting with people. I couldn't do a job that was not have interaction
right.
if I was just sitting in a cubicle or in an office all day.
Yeah, I could. I could do it.
I enjoy it,
Yeah.
but it is like where we've lost track of, hey, it's the weekend.
Yeah.
Let people have their weekend.
Do you even? I mean, you mentioned vacation. I missed that. And I really did. My biggest regret is that because I had some really good years, I pushed and I never stopped long enough to go. How many men and women have we seen go? Wow, you know, I mean, we never look up, and so I love hearing people that go, "Hey, I took a 3-day, I took a 4-day," because you need it.
So I did push hard, when I started this company, I pushed really hard for quite a few years, but I did make time. I had gone through a divorce. I had 50-50 custody, and basically the first 3 years of running this company, I would work 90 hours when my kids were not with me, and then work about 45 when they were with me. And I would make time.
Yeah.
Make time for them, make time for things. But one of the things over the last couple of years that I've realized, like, hey, I'm not getting any younger. And honestly, if I lose a job because I don't get back to somebody because I'm trying to take a 4-day weekend, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay. It's okay to not sell that job
Yeah.
if the customer is just not willing to wait an extra day or two or a week.
Because I mean, you call yourself,
You got to have a life.
right. You call yourself Gas and Grills, but you do so much more than gas and grills.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you've almost expanded as the. Who even thought 20 years ago about outside kitchens? Was that a thing? I say 20.
So it wasn't really. I've been in this industry 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And about 20 years ago, I don't, if you're from the Jacksonville
I
area,
am.
you'll remember there was a company called Barbecues Galore.
Mm-hmm.
And they opened up in Mandarin, and they had a store out at the beaches.
I'm a Southside boy.
They had 2 stores called Barbecues Galore, and they were here 20-ish years ago, 23 years ago, whatever. And they had 2 huge stores, and outdoor kitchens were just kind of like really coming into play. And in 2008, when the economy crashed, they shut their doors, shut down both locations, and they just kind of like went away, so to speak.
Where were you working then?
Oh, 2008. I was in construction sales.
Okay.
So
did you crash with it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
Oh,
I
yeah.
crashed. I'm in furniture.
Oh yeah.
We
No,
all crashed.
No, and
You weren't building, and they weren't buying to
No.
build. You know.
No.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh!
No, in 2008,
What a war!
I seen the writing on the wall, and I'd bought a new house, had been in it for 3 years, and basically put it up for sale. I was like, okay, I got to sell this before I get hung dry, because I seen what was going on. I was helping run a business, and we had we had 13 locations in Florida, probably about 105 employees, and we were slowly laying people off. We were closing stores, and I'm like, oh crap, what's going on? What's going on? So I put
That's eerie. You were in my spot.
Oh yeah, I put my house on the market because I'm like, okay, I bought this house 3 years ago, and things are falling apart really fast.
Yeah.
So I was very, very fortunate. A lot of people like lost their house, went out. I was very fortunate. I found a buyer, and it was a buyer from out of town that was being transferred into Florida from Louisiana,
So
I
you were
believe.
just on the front end.
Yeah. So I sold my house like in 60 days, 90 days, and got out from underneath it. So I was very thankful, very thankful. But it was rough. 2009 was very rough. I mean, it probably was for you. It was rough for millions of people.
Well, corporate in 2008 began to rumble.
Right.
And then it all the way to 2010, and it dissolved. And so I watched all these stores and men and women that I knew their families, and a receiver had taken it over and was dissolving it. And I was not considered an honored debtor. So I lost everything.
Yeah. Well,
because we didn't have VIN numbers. Like you have VIN numbers. There's no VIN numbers on a piece of furniture.
Well, it was, people don't realize how big the construction industry is across the U.S.
Oh my
and
gosh.
how many people it feeds.
Yep.
But what happened?
I mean, from trucking to the ones
gas stations, tire stations, all of it. Because when you take 40 million construction trucks traveling around, they're all stopping and buying lunch. They all need tires every year. They all need gas.
The trickle down economy is true.
Oh yeah, big time.
I mean, you and I see it.
Yeah, and so I give a shout out, Big Chief Tire.
Yeah.
Big Chief Tire is a Jacksonville-based company. They've been around a long time, family-owned, and I think they had expanded to like 9 or 10 locations. Yeah. And same thing there. Like they had to step back and close half their locations because the company I worked for, we had say 45 trucks on the road. We went back to like 15 trucks on the road.
Right.
So when you take out 45, all those trucks need tires.
66% of your
They need tires every year. Like those commercial trucks have to get tires every year. So now you're affecting the tire shops. You're affecting the gas stations. You're affecting
the food places and the gas station.
all the lunch places. Like
and the guys that refill the gas stations.
Because those guys are stopping to get lunch every day.
Absolutely.
So it is a massive, you know.
And then they ran through all the raw materials and had to restart this country without any raw materials.
In the meantime, we did bailouts for the banks and the mortgage companies, but those are the guys with the most money anyway.
I got $0.
We didn't bail out the real American people.
Choking.
Oh yeah,
I was choking.
Yep.
I took a forbearance on my house that supposedly was all good. It was only a 3-month. I was like, everybody's getting something. So I went and did a forbearance. I really didn't need it, but I needed it. But I could have held on without it. It was an 8-year headache I had a shadow mortgage that Bank of America put on there, and it was like I never had a mortgage for 8 years, so it destroyed my credit. And then when they finally put it on, they put double the mortgage, the same payment, open the same day. It was ridiculous.
You know, it's funny you say credit. You know, I've been through a lot of phases of my life, and you know, good credit, bad credit, different phases of my life. And I seen a post, you know, of course, social media, Facebook. I seen a post that said, "How can America judge your credit score when America is so far in debt? What is America's credit score?
Oh my gosh!
How do they even have a credit score? They just blow
we are
money.
Owned so much. We just keep sending out all these bills that people.
So, you know, it's like, how do you judge me on my credit score when you know? But the other part about credit, this baffles me. This really baffles me because after 08, 09, 2010, I made a decision to never be majorly in debt again the rest of my life.
Right.
So I started this business debt free. My business is still debt free. I've bought every truck debt free. I've never financed them. I've never financed anything.
You said 19 years?
No, I've been 9 years.
9 years. Man, you've built quick.
But in 9 years, you know, I haven't gone to the bank for a loan. I haven't asked for credit cards. I haven't asked for a financial partner. But yet banks don't want to loan me money.
Right.
Because I'm not in debt. Same personally and financially.
Right.
It's really crazy. And I have a very high credit score. But at the same time, it's like if you're not in debt, buried in debt, they don't want to give you more.
Yep.
But if I was buried in debt and had a big mortgage and all these payments, it's like they want to give you more money.
Yep.
It's like they want to own you. They want to bury you and own you.
Have you ever listened to Tom McDonald?
No, I don't
Okay,
think so.
he is a white rapper. He looks crazy as can be.
Yeah.
I'll put a link in the description. And he sings a song called "The System." Welcome to the system, and it's really good. And everything you're talking about, it defines. And it talks about buying a house, the bank owns it, and then you pay mortgage so they can come get it. And then we have some children that just and it's the system. It's just the machine.
And that's the American dream. That's what they called it. You know, they've had all kind of sales tags. They're like the government and all that. They know salesmen.
They know how to pull our chain.
And it's like, oh, the American dream, the utopia, you know. And I'll be honest with you, I grew up here, and I don't want to live in a neighborhood.
Yep.
I don't want to be right on top of my neighbor.
Yep.
Like it's like most neighborhoods are not desirable to me.
Yep.
But yet that is what they have sold to people as like, oh, home ownership, own your own home. But you don't really. I mean, you never own your. And I think one of the things they're trying to abolish now is property taxes once your house is paid off. But that's the other thing is you never technically own anything.
You're almost better renting now.
Well, you know what's crazy is I actually my children are 20.
You can write it off.
My children are 20, 22, and 24.
Preach.
And my 20-year-old, I just had dinner with him and his girlfriend. They're renting an apartment. And all three of my kids have good jobs. They're hard workers. I'm super proud of where they are. And it blows my mind. He's like, Dad, do you understand? They don't want us to own a home.
Yep.
They want us to rent. We've got neighborhoods, full neighborhoods. There's two big companies building nothing but rental neighborhoods. We've kind of crushed the American dream, so to
Oh,
speak.
we've destroyed it.
but-
No, you're preaching my song.
Yeah, and it's like my 20-year-old who
They
is
can't buy a
super
home.
smart, working at an engineering firm, and he's like, Dad, I don't know that I can ever afford a home.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, wow,
I sold
what
it.
have we done to our country?
Well, what is it? 60% of homes bought. Now I could be butchering the percentages. Is bought by large investment firms. I mean, we're becoming a renters nation, and the rents are going crazy. I sold my house in Fleming Island about 11 months ago for ridiculous amount higher than I thought it was worth, but I shot for it. And shout out to Kendra Peck. She's a great realtor. And then I bought in Orange Park. And so you should have seen what I was looking at for $300,000. I'm stepping in water and writing on the wall. Mind blowing. I was expecting $250 and I could fix it up. And,
so I seen a little single wide mobile home on I think an acre in Green Cove 6 months, a year ago. And they're wanting $220,000 for this 30-year-old single wide mobile home. And I'm thinking, what? Yeah. Where are we at? What have we done? Where at what point does reality come in? And I'm not so sure that's what they really want.
No, they don't.
They want control.
Right.
And so, and so I don't know where this all ends. I'm 53. I don't know where it ends. I want to make sure that, my 3 kids have something though,
that this generation, now my boys are, 27, 24, and then I have a 20-year-old daughter in college. But this generation, mine, things aren't as important to them. Housing isn't as big of a deal right now. He's still playing baseball at 27.
Right,
so he's still in that. I don't know if he'll ever have a real job, and I'm grateful for it. But he gets to hang out with guys and throw the ball around and dance and all that goofy stuff.
Yeah.
So, but he doesn't even have a car, and he makes good money. And I'm like, son, you gonna get a car? Well, my buddy's got one, and he travels when I don't. I'm like,
so, I've been divorced for 7-8 years. I don't know. Yeah. I don't keep count. Men, we don't keep count.
No.
We don't have a track record and days and calendars. No. But I dated a girl 3 or 4 years ago, and all 3 of her kids didn't have a driver's license, didn't have a car.
That's weird.
The thing is, but it's cheaper to Uber.
Yep.
That's mind blowing. I've tried to help all my kids get a leg up and things like that in different ways. I paid for my daughter's college.
Yeah.
Well, she got full scholarship, full ride. She did all the things, in high school, all the things to get 2 different scholarships, get a full ride. But the apartment was $1,100 a month.
Oh, I'm doing it right now in Florida.
Yeah. So
$1,400 with 4 other people.
Yeah. No, it's that you talk about crazy. Okay, so
we got to go buy a condo.
Listen, well, that's what I told her. I said, if you're going to stay in college, I'm going to go down there and buy a little house. I'm in remodeling. I'll go remodel it. We'll get a 3 or 4 bedroom house. We'll rent out those other bedrooms. Because, 4-bedroom apartment, shared apartment, each paying $1,100. That's $4,400 a month.
Preach.
They're making.
Oh, I did the math.
Off of these. And it's mostly parents paying it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it is. But I told my daughter, I was like, we're not spending more than $900 a month. And I went down to Gainesville and saw what $900 got us. I said, come on, baby, we're going to get you something else.
Go here and pay $1,200, yeah.
And $1,200, $1,300, then plus another $250 a month for parking. And she's not in the creme de la creme in Gainesville.
No, right.
It's nice, but it's not.
It's double that for the creme.
Yeah. And she's got bright future. I got prepaid.
Right.
And I'm still shelling out. I'm like, and she has a job. I'm very proud of her.
Well, that's my thing was I told my daughter, I'm like, hey, you got to have a part-time job.
Yep.
You're going to college, but you got to work, a couple days a week, and you need to pay for your gas, pay
and they
for
don't
your
mind.
food.
Good people.
And she did good. Yep. And so she went to USF, but
that's a great school.
I knew nothing about that school.
Yeah, I do because of baseball.
She told me, hey, this is a school I picked. So I started talking to friends and family, and come to realize how many people that I was in touch with that went there that absolutely loved it.
Tampa is awesome.
It was a
It is awesome.
it is a great
Yeah.
it is probably underrated for
Absolutely.
as how good of a college. So many people want to go to big colleges like UF, FSU, Georgia, wherever.
Even UCF.
But UCF is another
It
great
is-
college.
Oh, yeah. They're going to
Great college.
dominate. Florida's in trouble. I'm a Gator fan.
Right. I
They're
am
in
too. I'm a Gator fan.
They're in
but-
trouble because UCF and USF's coming. If they get this thing right, they'll take
Well,
recruits.
I'm going to be partially biased here, but if they can find a Steve Spurrier,
Yeah.
they'll dominate.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at what Steve Spurrier went to South Carolina to a nobody team,
Yep.
and look what he did in 3 years at South
I
Carolina.
know.
So if any, and actually,
And they have fun at the games.
I can't remember if it was UCF or USF, but they had gotten a great coach for about 3 years.
Yeah, it was Frost. And then he
and-
went in Nebraska, and now he's back.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, he's back.
But
yeah,
he
Frost
was
is back.
kicking
Yeah.
butt, man.
He's
was
struggling a little bit
is
this
it
year.
USF, right? Or is UCF? Which one was it?
UCF.
Yeah, they
And-
were like
yeah.
they were like dominating their.
They were ranked this year. And
Okay.
I don't follow this. I'm like you. I
don't-
work.
I work
say
too
less.
much to.
I understand. But they've actually lost. I just heard it on the radio. I was driving
Okay.
in between interviews. And they, because when people see owner on your resume, and especially at our age,
They don't want to hire you.
well, I used to run like you. I ran a
Are you
bunch.
looking for a job? I'm hiring.
Yeah, I might. It depends on if they
Hey,
hire me. This one interview.
Yeah.
And it was a shout out to Clay County Chamber because of them.
The Clay County Chamber has been awesome.
Been dynamic for me.
I grew.
John
I
Cantrell and
I
Catherine, they
kind
give
of
a
grew
damn.
up in Clay County, so I don't want to like most of my family grew up in Jacksonville. I moved out to Clay County when I was 8 years old. Lived out here to 18, so I lived in Clay County for 10 years. Then moved back up to Jacksonville, and I've been back in Clay County for about 10 years. But Clay County really feels like home to me.
Mm-hmm.
But John had been stopping in for I don't know 2 years or whatever, and I was like, I'm like, And then Catherine started stopping in, and I want to say March or so, I joined the Clay County Chamber, and honestly, it's been really good.
Yeah.
It's been good for my business. It's been good for networking.
They
So
support.
they do a great job of exploiting your business to other people
Yep.
and supporting you, and so no, it's been
And people watch all around the country. Get involved with your local chamber. Clay County, Florida, we have a dynamic one. I hope you have remotely close to what we have. I doubt it, to be honest with you. I don't think there's a ton that, I mean, they make it fun.
they do.
John and Catherine are also the leaders, but they couldn't do it without all the others that help as well. And Becky dragged me in. I didn't want to go.
Yeah,
I went
yeah.
kicking and screaming, oh my gosh. And because of that, I don't want to give any shout outs to people because they may not want it, but somebody was able to make a call and get me an interview that was very difficult to get. And it was because of the Clay County Chamber and only the Clay County. It wasn't Brett.
Right.
And so
it
I'm
is.
very grateful.
It's connections and knowing
is. It
people,
does.
and that's a big
It
thing.
does.
And people who care, and I mean, and like you said, and yeah, if you have a local, jump in, support it.
Yep.
We have a good group of people, and once again, I blew it off for like a couple of years,
Yeah.
and even though I'm from here and all
Yeah.
that, but it's
So you dove in. You said Green Cove's the place I want to open up a grill. Back 9 years ago, that wouldn't have been seemed as the hot spot. Fleming Island would have been the hot spot.
Yeah.
No? It already passed that. I lived in Fleming for so long, I don't even know.
So the thing about it is if you look at Fleming Island, there's a lot of things not in Fleming Island.
I agree.
It's closed off. It's not right by a highway.
I agree.
It's got to be accessible. It's funny because let's talk about Whataburger. Whataburger left Fleming Island, but they opened up 7 new locations in Jacksonville, and not just Jacksonville, Clay County, St. Johns County, and Jacksonville. They closed the one here, but they opened 7 new ones.
Yep.
So Fleming Island is very closed off.
And they ask the rents. They ask. You'd think they're on San Jose.
So yeah, right.
I mean,
So the thing about Green Cove is,
sorry, John.
sorry, but
Not Cantrell, John, the guy that owns a lot of the property on.
Oh yeah. So
anyways,
but you know, I actually started this business out of my house,
okay.
and I had a big garage, and for the first almost 4 years, I worked out of the house. And,
Were you already ordering from manufacturers and everything?
Yeah. So what aspired is, you know, I was comfortable. I was working out of the house, and I had a big driveway, and I'm parking 3 trucks and trailers in my driveway. I'm getting deliveries from semis, you know, and I'm in Green Cove. Okay.
Right.
So lo and behold, the government, you know, Green Cove government started like, hey, you know, you can't run business out of your house. And I'm like, this is America.
Right.
This is how America started.
And
Let's
many
go
a
back
great
to-
business were started
out of a home.
Absolutely.
And it's like, and we lost sight of that. We have lost sight
Microsoft.
we have lost sight of everything. And it's like,
I started this out of my garage.
so they basically ran me out of town. Basically. I mean, it's really, I was in the city limits of Green Cove, and they taunted me.
They coded you to death.
They coded me. And so
Do not get it. I love the fire marshals.
But here's the beauty of it is they forced me to go find a place. Well, I found a place a mile outside of the city limits of Green Cove. And so no, I have a business outside the city limits of Green Cove. They didn't come to me and help me. They just kind of pushed me. And that's the problem. That's the problem we see in a lot of areas. Not, hey, how can we help you? What can we do to help resolve this?
Did it end up being a better move though, you think?
Oh yeah. So
maybe it was God nudging you a little
exactly.
bit.
So I'm thankful. Like I always, you know, it's kind of like that flat tire. You don't get mad about a flat tire. You know, I get a flat tire, and then I get it fixed, and I go 3 miles up the road, and there's a major accident.
But let me ask you something.
And I'm like, okay, God just gave me a flat tire to keep me out of the accident.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of how I.
So, but you had an upward trajectory, and it never really let up. I mean, I'm not saying it was straight up. I'm sure like 2008, or did you have your dips in the grill business, in the gas and grill?
So here's.
Was your construction funneling monies to the gas and grill?
So here's the reality. My company is called Premier Specialty Service.
Right.
So if you look at premierspecialtyservice.com, that is my business, my construction business. We specialize in fireplaces. We specialize in fireplaces.
So it was just a great compliment.
Indoors. And then we do all the outdoor living. We do outdoor kitchens, outdoor fire features. And then I'm also a licensed gas contractor for the state of Florida.
Oh, goodness.
So I pipe houses, pipe pool heaters. So everything evolves around the gas license and propane.
Yeah.
And
you got multiple. Did you go in with all those multiple streams of income, or you just?
Yeah. So I have, you know, when I started this business, I've been doing it prior to this, but when I started this 9 years ago, it was, you know, I had my license and I did a little bit of everything just to try to, you know, so I
Was it everything you had money wise when you went in, or
it was everything.
You were all in?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
It was all in. I'd recently gone through a divorce.
Right.
You know, paid attorneys all their fees.
You're either going to be working for somebody, or you're going to. Yeah.
It was all in. Like my kids need to eat.
Yep.
And it was do or die.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you've been there.
I have.
Work 80, 90 hours a week, whatever it took. It didn't matter. I would go out in the field, work all day in the field, come home, you know, spend time with the kids, cook for the kids, clean up, do dishes.
Do you think you rebranded yourself? Did you, did you become a different guy through the transitions of construction into, because you shifted to retail, you know?
So my background, because you don't really know me.
No.
So my background, when I going way back here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go way back.
At 15 years old,
Yep.
I dropped out of high school.
Okay.
So at 15 years old, I moved out of home, dropped out of high school. I went into construction.
Done with mom and dad?
Done with mom and dad. They divorced when I was...
Mine was 17.
Yeah.
I moved out at 17.
So my parents actually divorced when I was very young.
Yeah.
And so...
so you went into construction?
I went into construction.
In Jacksonville?
Actually, here in Clay County.
Let's not name any names because I think that's probably illegal to do 15.
No.
No, you didn't work more than 15 hours.
Listen, I was working 50 hours a week.
God
at 15
damn it! I'm
years
trying
old.
to help.
Yeah, there was no. Listen, we didn't have all that.
No, we
back
didn't.
then.
I dug footers.
We didn't have all that back then.
Yeah.
So, at 18 years old, I realized that, hey, I'm a smart guy. And, I love construction, but just being,
Scoot that a little bit closer to it. You're right.
but just doing the work
Yep.
was not my cup of tea.
Yep.
And so I actually went back to high school, went to a private school. I was 20 years old when I graduated.
Wow.
So
Were you working and going, or you just dove right back in full time?
No, I went full time to school.
Wow.
And I actually graduated high school. And in the meantime, while I was going to high school, I still worked. So I worked at Publix supermarkets.
Right.
So
What a great company.
I spent 8 years in retail with Publix.
Say less than the way they train.
Well, and that was so it's different today.
Yeah.
Way different today. All three of my kids work for Publix. It's a great place for college kids, high school kids.
Right.
It's a great place because they're flexible and all that stuff. But
They wear out management.
they do. But it was definitely different 25 years ago, but it's also the whole world's different. So it's not just them. But it was really like military school. And they were and the reason they're successful today, just like Chick-fil-A, there was structure, there was rules. Like we need rules. The whole country needs rules.
Processes and procedures.
Yeah, people need rules. There needs to be rules. And that is the problem. The kids don't have rules. Like there's rules. Here's the rules.
Right.
You don't abide by the rules. You don't want, hey, go.
The old saying, don't fight every war, but the battle you fight, you better win.
Yeah.
And my boundaries, I kept them pretty. I was spiritually based, so I kept them pretty broad for a spiritual base.
Yeah.
But you hit that wall, and I'm not your friend. I'm your daddy.
So
it helped.
Going back to retail, I loved retail. I actually loved it. I hated the hours.
Yeah.
We would work on, Christmas Eve. We'd work till 10 at night while all the family's getting together.
I know.
You're at work.
I know.
And then people go, it's great. Y'all are closed Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Well, I got off at 10 p.m. Christmas Eve, and I have to be there at 4 a.m. the day after Christmas. Do you think I want to see y'all?
Right.
No. I want to go
sleeping.
sleep. I want to go sleep. You know what I mean? So it's like, big hoopla. We're closed on Christmas.
Right.
Who cares?
Right.
Because
retail doesn't get enough nods.
No. So I loved the whole retail. I loved I enjoyed it. I was there for 8 years. I thought I was going to be there for 30. And so I got out of retail and actually got into construction sales because I had done
But
construction.
you had a boldness to change.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't always have that. I had opportunity to sell diesels in Brownsville, Texas, when I was in construction, and mine has always been a little bit more of a force change. You had foresight.
I'll jump out of a plane in a heartbeat. All right. So here's,
but it doesn't cost you financially. You seem to better yourself on each spring.
Yeah.
Am I off on that?
no.
Take away 2008. Everybody got hit.
So no.
Damn chicken.
Sometimes I have to step back. Like I have taken pay cuts
Yeah.
to move forward.
Yeah.
But here's the difference. When you talk about change, now you're hitting my childhood. Okay. In my childhood, by the time I was 18, I'd lived in 17 houses.
Military brat?
No, I've never left Florida. I've never left Jacksonville. I've never left North Florida.
Oh, I got you. Wow. 17 houses.
Do you know why renters want first, last month, and deposit?
Because of y'all?
Yeah.
Because y'all split?
Well, no, I'm talking about when I was
gotcha.
when I'm 8 years old.
Okay.
So what people did to survive back then, like my mom, we'd rent a house for 4 months, 5 months, and then you'd stop paying rent for 2 or 3 months till they kicked you out. Then you'd move to another house. Then you'd repeat the same thing. And
Save
so
a little money.
every 6 to 8 months we were moving.
Wow.
So
You didn't unpack, did you?
I could take you to every house right now today.
Wow.
Every house I've lived in. in Jacksonville, Clay County.
Did it change all your schools along the way too?
I went to 3 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, and 3 high schools.
How did you bond?
That's a whole, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I guess staying in Jacksonville helped a little.
yeah.
But
So I have 4 different sets of friends, all in the same city.
were you ever in the
it's-
Arlington area?
No,
Okay.
no. You know, so I went to Cedar Hills Elementary for kindergarten first, Thomas Jefferson for 2nd grade,
Right.
Cedar Hills Elementary for 3rd and 4th, Middleburg Elementary for 5th, J.L. Wilkinson, which is Middleburg
Oh, yeah.
Middle School for 6th, Orange Park Middle for 7th and 8th. I went to Orange Park High School for 1 semester, then moved back to Middleburg to do 9th and 10th in Middleburg. And then after that, that's when I decided, hey, I'm tired of all this.
I mean, how did I mean? You knew you were leaving, so did you ever really bond with people, or did you just learn to put that mask on?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of mask, but
Yeah.
but what's crazy is
I mean, you really care, but
in each area, I could name you 5 or 6 friends from each area that especially after Facebook came out, where I reconnected. There's a kid that I went to high school. I mean, I'm sorry. There's a kid I went to elementary school with for 1 year. In Middleburg Elementary, we went to school together for 1 year.
and you want to connect with him.
Well, I know where he lives in Tampa, and we're friends on Facebook. I
Huh.
remember him from that 1 year. Like
Huh.
we were good friends, and there's a girl that lives in Tampa that I think I went to school with in 7th. and
But I mean,
8th,
let me
but-
stay there for a second. But I
yeah.
mean, you have a desire to reconnect with those people.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. See, I sometimes I feel like I'm missing that gene
Yeah,
because I feel
yeah.
like when people leave my life, well, you left for a reason, and I don't even process anymore. It's just on to the next and grinding and work and
Yeah.
and it's really been this last 2 years been interesting for me. What I've learned.
No, it's
So you didn't have a mom, you didn't have a mom and dad necessarily to go get wisdom from. So who's the first adult in your life that you remember that you said, okay, that resonates? Somebody you listen to a little bit, maybe not all the time.
I think that's one of those things that I don't know that I ever had
don't think that's
somebody
good.
that like I don't think there was
So
anybody
you
ever.
did it. You walked it on
I
your
didn't
own.
have a choice.
Yeah.
I mean, I was doing laundry and cooking dinner at 10 years old.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like if I wanted to eat, I had to cook. I mean, it's just like
You know, trauma-based youth at whatever level you want to put it at
yeah,
really creates some seasoned humans for leadership.
and I
Because
and
you're in
I'm-
tune with people. Would you say
Oh
that?
yeah, no, and it's like, you know, I don't agree with people who go, well, I can't, you know, my childhood or this is what caused this or whatever, and it's like, no, I've been through a lot, and it's like, do you want to succeed or not succeed? It's really
Mhm.
simple. You can either so here's one of my slogans: you can either fish with the dolphins or
Right.
swim with the dolphins, or you can swim with the catfish.
Right.
Which one do you want to swim with?
Right.
Catfish eat shit off the bottom. I'm
Right.
sorry, but that's what they do.
Oh, you're good.
Or you swim with the dolphins.
Yep.
What do you want to do in life?
Yep.
And that's kind of like, you know, that's and I didn't always have but I always wanted to rise to the top, no matter what it was.
Right.
You know, whatever, no matter what the situation was, you know, make the best of the outcome, and the other part is work hard.
Yeah.
You know, work hard.
And life's not
um,
fair.
No, it's not. And that's one of the things I've always tried to, you know, I've tried to express to my kids. Look, life's tough.
Oh, life's
Life's tough.
Yeah.
This is and I think that's the problem is we want to pamper and baby, and it's like, no, life is tough for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter how much money you have. Some of the people with the most money are the most miserable. Because
Roofing was interesting for me
Like-
because I would walk into some of these big old multi-million-dollar homes and there'd be mildew on the roof and cracks on the inside, and the house was falling apart.
Yeah.
And they were house poor, you know. And
That-
I'd always rather have, you know, a little bit money in my pocket than be extended. you know, because extension can kill you.
You know, the biggest thing is going to this is happiness is inside yourself.
Yep.
It's
And
not
success, defining success, you know, I mean, really, is it money for you? Is it, you know, for me, it's not money. I mean, I've chased that train. It's smoke and mirrors.
well. You know, the fact is you got to have money.
Yeah.
You got to have it.
Yep.
You know, things cost, but I enjoy doing a project for somebody and seeing them just glow and be
Right.
like, wow, you captured what I visioned.
Right.
And they're just tickle pink and they're super happy. And it's like, yeah, I need to make money at it. But at the end
Yeah.
of the day, you know, they've got a project. They want me to do this project and I execute it. And they're just like, wow.
Right.
Yeah, and so
How involved are you in each step?
well, you know, I used to be very involved,
Right.
but as the business has grown, it's definitely more complicated. And that's the part I hate about it where
Yeah.
you know,
You get pushed more and more in the office.
I do. I spend a lot of time in the office, a lot of time doing estimates.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I had a client the other day. It was like, well, you know, I'm selling them the job, and they're like, well, how much are you going to be here? And I was like, I'm not.
Right.
I'm not going to be here. You know, I've got a field manager. He's been with me 7 years. We've also been friends for 35 years.
Right.
I said, he's going to help oversee this project. This is his job. You know, I can't be here
Yep.
all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't do that. I mean, I have, you know, many trucks running and I'm trying to take care of a lot of clients. And unfortunately, I mean, when I was small, it was just 2 trucks running. I was at every job, you know what I mean? And
How quick did it scale from 2 to however many you have now? 'Cause, I mean, you're only 9 years in, so you started with 2 trucks,
no, I didn't even start with 2 trucks. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I started with my truck.
right? The house, and but when you got a retail location,
I couldn't even afford a trailer when I started my business. I couldn't afford to go buy a trailer. I rented U-Haul trailers for the first about year and a half. And so I'd rent a U-Haul trailer only on the days I needed it, and I'd pack my truck full of tools. And like I said, I hired a good friend of mine that about 3 to 6 months into the business, we sat and had lunch. Matter of fact, let's talk about some nostalgic. Okay,
yeah, you're close enough for me.
Tom and Betty's.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Which just closed.
I know.
But Tom and Betty's from way back in the days. Well, we met at Tom and Betty's there in Orange Park, which is
Yeah.
the new modern Tom and Betty's,
Right.
which is now gone. Anybody who's a Jacksonvillian will know the history of Tom and Betty's
Yes.
of where it started, and it was at Roosevelt for 20 years or whatever at Roosevelt. But we met at Tom and Betty's, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago. Sat down, had lunch, and I said, "Hey, how about come work for me?" And he kind of chuckled, and he's like, "Well, I'm good. I'm doing my own thing." And he had his own business going, and I said, I already called him 3 times saying, "Hey, come to work for me. Come to work for me." You know, I'm like, I got all this work. Come to work for me. I need help. And then, you know, a few days later, he called me and says, "All right, I'll come to work for you."
Did
And
you have a lot of competition around you?
So
I'm just wondering why it scaled so fast.
So, yes and no. I mean,
Okay.
I've always said you're your own competition.
Right.
Like you don't have competition.
Right.
You are yourself. And I know there is competition, but at the same time, if you provide a great product, you provide great service, and you don't have to be the cheapest guy in town.
Right.
But you do what you say you're going to do. You tell the client, "This is what I'm going to do. Here's how it's going to work." You lay it out for him, and then you execute. And people are tickled pink.
Yeah.
And so I think just, not over promising and over
Under
delivering.
promise and over deliver.
Yeah. And so, and I always tell people, I don't always tell people, but I don't want to be the cheapest guy.
Right.
I'm not here to be the cheapest guy. I'm here to provide you a service of quality and production and something that you are going to be. I'd rather you spend, 10,000 with me than 8,000 with me and be unhappy.
Right.
But you spend that 10 grand and you're happy because I did the job right. I didn't take shortcuts.
Right.
And so,
So you're big ticket.
yeah, I mean, our average job is somewhere between 10 and 25,000. I mean,
Wow.
it's not, but,
A lot of financing in your industry.
actually I've never offered financing and I've thought about it for 2 or 3 years, but I've never offered it. And it's something that's been talked about.
It didn't
over
work
and over.
well for me in furniture. I tried it,
Yeah. You know,
but my tickets aren't that size.
right.
So
So I don't know how to really gauge that, but I've looked at it, I've thought about it, I've checked
Yeah.
it out for the last 3 years, and it's still something on my radar.
So how do you drive people in your store? What do you think that's? I mean, there's no secrets.
Well, so the thing about
Maybe.
I have kind of two businesses in one. I have Premier Specialty Service, which
Right.
is the construction side,
Right.
and then I have Premier Gas and Grills.
Right.
So the construction side, it's building outdoor kitchens, it's doing a fireplace, it's doing some gas work. We got a lot of people moving here from out of state,
Mm-hmm.
and they move into a house that has no gas in it, and they're going, "Oh my God, I love."
From up north.
Yeah, they I love cooking on gas.
Mhm.
And I say, and the crazy part is they can call 4 other gas companies. They'll come out and go, "Oh no, we can't do that. We
Right.
can't do that." They call me, we can do it.
Right.
That my answer is yes. We're going to figure out how to do it. You want gas to your stove. We're going to figure out how to get up the wall, cross the attic,
Right.
and sometimes 2 stories can be challenging,
Right.
but we're going to figure out you want gas, stove, we're going to figure out how to get it there.
Hmm.
And so 92% of the time, I'm going to get it there.
Right.
Now, it's not going to be free.
Right.
It might cost you a little bit, but we're going to figure out how to, because you cooked on gas for 27 years and you hate electric stove.
Right.
We want to make that happen for you. That's I want you to be happy.
Right.
That's what I love. I love making people happy. So, and so that's some of the things we do, but that's the construction side. So when I was forced to move the business out of the house,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I got to rent a place. And I'm thinking, oh my God. I'm like, okay, rent, $2,500 a month, electric, $500 a month, overhead.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you're running a business, it's like,
Yep.
you're watching,
you.
you want to watch overhead.
Yep.
So I moved into this place in Green Cove, 5 minutes from my house, that I had looked at for multiple times. That was, it was up for rent, and then it got rented for like a year. Then it was up for rent. Then it got rented for like 6
Yeah.
months. Then it was up for rent. But I looked at it multiple times, and I'm like, oh my God, how can I afford this? How can I afford, adding all this overhead? And so I kept shying away. And that's why I say, I'm not mad at Green Cove, for enforcing me to, they basically pushed me out of the area.
Necessity is
Is
the greatest form of
but
invention.
so I'm not, I was a little mad at first, but then
Yeah.
when I realized hey, they actually did me a favor because I didn't really have the gonads to just jump out there and sign a lease for 5 years.
Yeah.
And so, but I did. And so the whole thing was it was going to be a fireplace showroom.
Mm-hmm.
So I started building it out, putting some fireplaces in there. And then as I started to develop, I'm like, I'm going to put some grills in here. I'm like, I'll sell a few grills that'll help pay the
Right.
rent, right? How do I help pay the rent? You're a business owner. You understand that.
Absolutely.
How do I pay this light bill of $600 a month?
Oh, yes.
Like what a lot of American consumers don't realize is, and I don't know what the kilowatt hours are. I don't have time to focus on this. But if the American home pays 27 cents a kilowatt, what they don't understand is the business pays 43 cents a kilowatt. So they hit the business with higher percentages per kilowatt to pay the city.
Go figure.
And this is another thing that's mind blowing is what people don't understand is, because this just happened recently in the city of Green Cove,
Right.
is they want to raise the rates. Well, all
Right.
the homeowners go, no, put it on the businesses.
Right.
Well, don't you understand?
Prices going
The
up.
business is going to raise their prices to
Yeah.
cover it. So you're still paying it.
Yeah.
This is smoke and mirrors. That's what we call it, smoke and mirrors.
Yep.
But the homeowner feels better about it. But when Dixie and CVS and Walgreens and myself and every business in Green Cove, you know what? Now we got to raise our prices 3 cents or 5 cents to pay for that extra electricity. So, but anyway, going back to, I jumped into this and not really knowing what was going to come of it. And here I am. December will be 5 years
Wow.
that I've been in that location. So
And it's blowing up around you.
it is. It is.
Yeah.
It's really blown up. It's really becoming, and it's that's. So going back to what you had asked, because I
Yeah.
can chase a squirrel,
Stay
I can
with
chase
it. You're
a snake,
not
but you were talking about why Green Cove. Well,
Yeah.
I've been around the building industry for a long time, and so I looked at several things, and most of my employees are in Clay County or Jacksonville, so being close to them is important.
Mhm.
Most people don't want to drive more than 30 minutes to a job. They don't.
Mhm.
They just don't. Some people will drive, so you want to be close to your employees. But the other part is St. Johns County's been blowing up for a long time.
It has.
And I knew that Clay County was next.
Yeah.
I knew it was
Here
coming.
comes Palatka too.
Yeah, all the way down.
Yeah.
So, we do a lot of work on the other side of the bridge, but we're starting to see more and more because this is, and so
Mhm.
just planting my feet here 5 years ago with the store is really set me up for the next
Yeah.
20.
Yeah.
Because, in reality, Duval, Jacksonville's just about all built out, like 97%. And we do a lot of new construction, but we also do remodels. We do a
Right.
lot of fireplace remodeling. So, so just like a bathroom remodel or a kitchen remodel, when a fireplace is 25, 28 years old, 30 years old, it's the same thing. We go in there, we gut it all out. We rip everything out. Tile, manholes, rip everything out, and then we remodel, put in a new fireplace, new everything, update it. Just like a bathroom or a kitchen. So so we do also work in a lot of areas that matter of fact, Fleming Island is all of Fleming Island's about 25 years old.
I know.
So we do a lot of the fireplace remodeling.
All the
there.
chimneys and
Oh
everything.
yeah. So but we do a lot of new construction. We add, and then we also add fireplaces and things whenever somebody buys a home and there's not one, but they want to add one. So we do that as well. But the grill store is really my passion.
Right.
I love cooking and grilling. I love feeding people.
Right.
It's a weird thing. I don't know. Maybe it's not a weird thing, but
No,
I love feeding people.
where'd you get that from?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it is, we grew up very poor. Right here in Jacksonville, grew up very poor. And so I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but like there was a lot of times there wasn't much to eat in the house.
Right.
But I like feeding people. I like making good food too, because there's not so much stuff is commercialized now, and good food is hard to find.
Right.
But I can like after this, if you're interested, I can tell you places in St. Pete. So I travel around Florida. There's so many cool places right here in Florida.
That is true.
There's so many great places.
Hidden places.
You do not have to leave Florida. You could travel around Florida for 5 years and visit so many cool little places.
Yeah.
And that's what I've really been doing a lot the last year and a half. But when the hurricane came, and I love Steinhatchee. Steinhatchee is kind of like this little secret little place that if you want to get away from civilization and hide out for a week and get away from all the hustle and bustle of life, you go over to Steinhatchee and camp and hang out for a week.
I love camping.
But, they got hit back to back with hurricanes.
Yeah.
So I put together, and I'm going to give a shout out to G's Barbecue. Everybody,
Absolutely.
G's Barbecue, Gary, great guy, great food. They opened up in Stark. His place
Yes.
burnt down here in Middleburg. So Gary and we've known each other, I guess, about 15 years. We did some competitions together. I started doing competitions just for fun.
Right.
And we did some competitions, got to know each other. But he actually loaned me, he's got a big smoker on a trailer, and he loaned it to me for about a month. And I got a group of like 10 or 12 people together, and we went over 3 weekends. I don't think they were in a row. I think we went a weekend, skipped a weekend, went a weekend, skipped a weekend. We went over there, and I got donations. I did advertising. I got donations from here and there. And,
Right.
But I grew a group of people together, and I went over there 3 different times. I went to Steenhatchee, and we fed, I don't remember, like 800 to 1,200 people that weekend. And then we came back 2 weeks later, went to Keaton Beach, and we fed 600-700 people up in Keaton Beach over the weekend.
Where'd you find them? I mean, you mean during the hurricanes?
Right after the hurricane had hit.
Easy to find.
Right
okay,
after the
gotcha.
hurricane hit.
Okay, understood.
So we went
Wow.
there. Well, in Steenhatchee, we just parked right next to Maddie's, which is it's Maddie's little supermarket, which had destroyed. We parked right next to that. It's the main drag. Everybody's driving by, and we got free food. You know, a lot of these people got no power, no showers, no nothing.
Wow.
Like there's people that went like weeks without a shower. Like it was destroyed over there. And so, and I loved it.
Yeah.
I love just feeding people and meeting and seeing people smile.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just something about it. What do we have? I don't know, 47 different languages across the world.
Right.
But yet the smile is the same thing everywhere you go. And when you see, I don't care if it's an old person, middle-aged, divorced person, a child, but when you see somebody smile and you make them smile,
That's true.
It's a game changer. You don't even know how to speak a language to them. You might not even be able to speak to them.
Right.
But they smile.
Do you build this business to sell? I mean, is that where your mentality is, or you not even think that far in?
No, it's funny because here's everybody who's owned a business, had a small business, they know the ups and downs. There's days that you just want to quit.
Yeah.
You want to run away. You just want to lock the doors and run away. Go 7,000 miles away and get away from it. And there's highs and lows, and I love what I do. That's another thing is I take it very personal. I have 12 employees. I take it very personal that they're relying on me. They got to feed their families.
Yeah.
So I take it very personal. And so, but there is a lot of people who their whole goal is build a business 3 to 5 years and sell it.
Right.
Scale it, sell it, scale it, sell it.
Right.
And I just don't.
You should enjoy what you do.
I enjoy what I do. I like what I do. And so
you got to do something. Right.
Yeah. And, but once again, going back, I love grilling and cooking. And so ultimately the whole grill store the whole purpose was to have things that people can't find in stores, have specialty stuff, provide something people can't find in a lot of places.
Had you seen other places where that worked, or you were just
sort of to a degree,
because you'd worked in the industry a little bit, right?
Right. So, and what's hard about a grill store is my grill store would never make it on its own.
Right.
I've been there 5 years. If all of us, but my ultimate goal is that it will make it on its own.
Right.
But the construction side is what keeps it going. But the grill store has really started taking off, the last 6 months. So it's exciting.
Yeah.
And we sell, grass-fed meats, we sell seasonings, sauces, all the things. And we're looking at bringing more things in. We're looking at bringing in salad dressings. We're now carrying some pickles, and we want to make it like a whole little market.
Yeah.
And we want people to be able to pop in. I'd love to bring in produce. It's kind of one of those things I'm kind of watching and radaring, trying to learn. So you pop into my little grill store, you pick up your produce, you pick up the meat, you pick up your salad dressings, you pick up all the things for dinner, and you go home, and cook dinner, and but
almost like a meat market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so let's talk about that. Funny thing is, you said meat market. Hold on. So I'm about to give out a little. I look around. I watch things. I study things. I'm very observant.
Right.
I could tell you where every gas station is in this city. I could tell you whether it's a Shell, whether it's a Gate, whether it's a racetrack in this whole city. Like I watch and observe. And one of the things is, I go to Gainesville. There's a meat market in Gainesville that started off as a produce stand, 47 years ago on the street corner of a produce stand. Now it's a full-blown meat market, produce. They have wine. It's a full little grocery market, and it's in Gainesville. And they have all their, they butcher all the. I mean, they have all they have all the sausage, the steaks, the whole meat section in the back. It's a cool place in Gainesville.
Right.
Love it. I found that, probably 8 or 10 years ago going over there. There's a few Gator games.
Right.
A buddy of mine introduced me to Petty's Meat Market in it's right outside of Altamont, right outside Orlando.
Eustis and all. On that side?
No, this side. It's actually on this side, called Petty's Meat Market. If you look at Petty's Meat Market,
Okay.
it's almost in you don't even get to Orlando. You drop off before you get to Orlando, and it's not really Altamont, but it's just before all that. But
Right. Okay.
But you walk in the door, and it's a family-owned, old-school style. You walk in the door. If you turn to the left, the first 20 feet or whatever, and then you turn back to the right. I could draw you a picture of this place. But you turn to the right, and they have all these glass cases right there for 12, 15 feet. And then you turn to the left, and down that wall is another 20 feet, and it's all fresh potato salad, pasta salad, like all the things, cucumber salad. It's all fresh.
Wow.
Because you don't get that in Publix anymore.
Right.
You don't get that in Wendy. They're all these major chains, as far as I'm concerned, it's garbage.
Right.
It's all prepackaged. It's all coming from somewhere else. They're not making it fresh. When I worked at Publix, the deli ladies, all that stuff was fresh every
They weren't
morning.
just opening cans and dumping it in.
It was all fresh every morning. They're back there so you go in there, and then you go all the way along the back of Petty's Meat Market, and there's steaks and sausage and the full meat market. And then you go through the middle, and there's all the little grocery items.
Right.
And then on the front, on the other side, they have all kind of other refrigerated items like cheeses, and they have like mahi dip and all the fish dips. They got like 15 different.
So
fish
just stuff
dips.
that you wouldn't find elsewhere.
Right, but it's amazing, the flavors, the taste, and so you go there, you go down there, you go to Gainesville. If you go up I-75 headed to Georgia, you have Carroll's Meat Market.
Right.
If you haven't been to Carroll's on I-75 in Georgia, mind blowing.
Carroll's Meat Market.
Carroll's Meat Market. Same thing. You walk in, same thing. They have all the things. If you like to cook and you like food, but you like to fix it all on your own.
Yep.
Same thing. Like they have so much selection. It's mind blowing. There is nothing.
Is it relaxing?
Listen, there is not zero in all of North Florida like that. You got 15 little meat places in North Florida. None of them even close to those 3 locations.
So you'd probably have to get a bigger location though.
Oh yeah. I would need 12, 15,000 square feet.
Oh goodness. That's a big leap.
Yeah. No, I dream of that though.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I could, that's what I would love to do for the rest of my life.
Right.
I'd be happy dying at 85, sitting out back and cooking for people.
Right.
Like, hey, sample this, sample that, and just a giant like little.
Do you know Nathan Dowd? Nathan is in the chamber, but he cooks. He has they cook for like 300 families on a regular basis, and they deliver to them, and it's all sponsored, and he's a neat fellow. Catherine knows him.
I might have met him before.
Catherine, John, they know.
Okay.
Him. He was at the gala and everything.
It's funny you talk about that because like if I had a lot of money, I still wouldn't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because I would help people.
Yeah.
Like I like helping people. I like people to see people smile and.
Well, it's like you said with your kids. I mean, to be able to help them and put them in good spaces. Even though they're doing well on their own. Were you close with them? I mean, from the get go. I mean, it was so important because of the way your childhood and everything.
And that's yeah. No, it is, and that's really
the I love yous and the hugs.
I tried not to overdo it and spoil them, so to speak, because of my childhood.
Yeah.
My mom and dad, neither one was really around.
Yeah.
I mean, I lived with my mom mostly for most of my life, living with my mom, but she wasn't really around.
Yeah.
And so I tried to always be there for my kids, like no matter what.
I know.
I mean, I would drive to, my daughter did cheer, and I would drive down to, Palaca to watch her do cheer at a football game. And I would, I tried to always be there as much as possible, and let them know that like I cared. You know what I mean?
Did they stay local?
Oh yeah, they're all three local.
See, I didn't get that. I got one traveling in baseball.
yeah.
I got one over in Japan.
Oh,
I
wow.
do have my one in Gainesville.
The funny part is they all three work for the same company.
Do they really?
Yeah. So talk about contacts. That was a friend of a friend, and they hired my daughter. She was there for about 8 months, and then they found out my youngest was looking for a job, and they're like, well, if he's as good as you are, we want to hire him. So they hired him like right out of high school.
That's awesome.
He actually did dual enrollment.
Right.
And got his college 2-year degree.
Right.
And like he was, I guess, out of high school 3 weeks or so in there. And then my oldest, he had a traveling job, and he was kind of tired of traveling. And then so my daughter was like, yeah, my older brother's looking for a job too. And they're like, well, if he's like you and he's like him, well, we want to hire him.
That's awesome.
And so
where a name carries that kind of weight, you got to be proud.
And so it was exciting. They're like, and they,
that didn't come overnight. How'd you get that ingrained in them?
I just tried to lead by example.
Okay.
Really, I mean, I worked hard.
Yeah.
I've always worked hard. I've always showed them working hard is important. And, I would sit down.
Did they see you go through failures?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I had another business before this business.
Right.
So I, in 2008, 2009, when everything fell apart, they seen me, go from a job, at 38 years old that was paying very well.
Yep.
To by the time I was 40, I was, scraping pennies together. So, in that 24-month, we went from living in a 3,200 square foot home to living in a 1,600 square foot home. Because that's all I could afford.
Right.
I had to get rid of the big house,
Right.
scale back, sell my truck, buy an older truck. You just have to like adjust.
You're telling my story.
Yeah. And
Been
so,
there.
and all you can do is hope that they seen that stuff, and they might not always understand,
Right.
but they see it. And like I said, and once again, we went from 3,200 square foot to 1,800 square foot.
Right.
That's a big difference.
It's a big difference.
4-bedroom, 3-bath house, to a 4-bedroom, 2-bath.
Did they handle it okay?
Yeah. They were kids. They're resilient. The other part about America, we're idiots.
Mm-hmm.
We're really idiots.
I know right where you're going.
We
kids really won't.
We can go buy them an $800 something,
And they play in the box.
and they play in a box. Or we are fools.
Yeah.
We really are. And that's what's so crazy is like, trying to keep it simplicity and being real with them too.
Yes.
Just being real. Hey,
I was always up front.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, this is what we can do this year, or this is what they've seen me drive beaters. I mean, like I at the time I'd buy my wife a car so she had good transportation, and I'd drive an old beater because hey, if I break down on the side of the road, one, I know how to fix a lot of stuff,
Right.
and I can I got tools and so. And so
Isn't it funny that none of our kids are entrepreneurs?
it's mind-blowing.
Not one of my kids want to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
They're like,
No.
we're good.
I think they see
They see the struggle.
the struggles, the
the
work,
risk.
the hard. But
It ain't easy.
But at the same time, I wonder, because I've been an entrepreneur since I was like 10.
Yeah, me. Yeah.
I actually, speaking of Publix, when I worked at Publix, they didn't pay squat. Let's be real.
Yeah.
I started there at $3.15 an hour, and they would give you 10-cent raises, and then that was about it. And so for 3 years, I started a lawn business, and on my days off, I would go out, mow 10, 12, 14 lawns on my days off because I couldn't live off of what they were paying me. And so, so entrepreneurship was like, I've always kind of
Been in your blood.
been in my blood. It's just a crazy thing. And so
But you do more of the quoting today. So you're still out on the field, right?
So I miss it.
Yeah.
I spend 90% of my time doing paperwork, estimating, running the business, scheduling the jobs, calling the customers, ordering products. And I would rather just be in the
Yeah.
field. I'd rather be getting my hands dirty, sweating. I don't enjoy the office.
You ever? So sometimes I would just go in the back and grab a sander and just start sanding, just to get,
So- Well, and then there is times, and it's been a little bit, but there was times where about every 4 months, I would just show up on the job site for a couple of days, and I'd
Yep.
climb up. I'd climb up on top of a pergola and start cutting and nailing, and the guys were like, "What?" And I'm like, "Y'all don't think I haven't done this before because
Right.
they hadn't seen me work,
Right.
You know what I mean?" But no, I mean I've climbed in chimneys, I've climbed under houses,
Right.
I've crawled through attics. You know what I mean?
But you've got a niche business, and it just
It is.
It seems to. I mean, but you hit it right, and it's not luck. So I'm visualizing it, and I mean you got multiple streams of income out of one, based around the gas line, license.
Right. And that's the whole thing was I got licensed in 2010
Mm-hmm.
because of the economy crash, everything going on. I was like, oh, I'll get in the gas business. I'll get my license. And that's kind of where it started. I had no idea.
I would have never thought of the gas business.
So here's what I did. Once again, I observe.
Right. Right.
And in 2010, if I had to guess, 75% of the people in the gas business were over 60. And I said, who's going to take this industry over?
Sort of like plumbers and everything.
Who's gonna do all
Yeah.
this? Like, who's going to take this industry over? I looked around and said, this is a great place for a 38-year-old to get into
Mm-hmm.
for the next 20 years because all these people are going to retire in the next 10 to 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to take it over? Who's going to run all this kind of work? And that's kind of how I visioned it.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think about, like, I wasn't in that mindset until the economy was crashing and everything. And I'm like, okay, what is economy proof?
Right.
What is something I can do that will take me through the next 25 or 30 years?
Right.
So, and that's kind of where it started, was just the gas. But then I took my construction background and started doing this. And
Man, construction just opens so many doors.
It does.
There's so many angles you can go in.
there's a lot of angles.
If you're good. It's like any industry.
Right.
I would imagine.
Well, I mean, so if you look up, so all three of my kids are working at an engineering firm.
Right.
And it's crazy because I tell them all the time, if you look up the top 15 jobs in America today,
Right.
7 of the top 15 is engineering.
Yep.
And I'm like, look, whether it's structural, whether it's mechanical, whether it's electrical engineering.
My son got biomedical engineering.
Yeah. There's so many fields with engineering. And I'm like,
And they pay well.
all of them are very
And they could be
good.
remote. If,
Yes.
yeah.
So I'm like, look, whether y'all stay, they're all doing structural right now, but I've said, whether you go this direction or this direction or this direction, engineering is a great place to be.
And that's why she was at USF. And that's a good engineering school.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that they all, but at the same time, if they don't, as long as they're happy too,
Yeah.
it goes back to, I've had a couple of jobs that paid really well and I was miserable. Just because a job pays you really well, don't stay miserable. Find another job. If it's 20, 30,000 less a year, but you're happy every day, that's way more important.
Starting over in your 50s has been interesting for me. I never would have expected it. I mean, it was a gut shot. It came out of nowhere. And it wasn't it wasn't bad decisions that I made.
How old are you?
I'll be 55 this month.
Okay. 'Cause I'm 53.
Yeah. I mean, this has been relatively recent. And so having to weed through all this and everything.
I'm going to be real with you. Honestly, 100%. I can't imagine starting over right now at 53. Like I started over.
Not only that, your name gets ruined.
I started over, at 38 when the economy crashed. And then 7 years later, when I was 45, I went through a divorce and like literally started all over.
You're
again.
freaking telling my story.
Like
It's weird.
started all
I was
over
45
again. Yeah.
when I started over.
So, and that's where I that's when I started all over. Right. And that's when I got into this business, even though I'd done this prior, but I was still starting over. Because I started a company in 2010, did that, for 4-ish years, 5 years, I can't remember. Like I said, we don't track time. Women could give you dates, times, all that. Men, we're just like, somewhere around last century.
Yep.
But I've started over multiple times in my life. And like I said, right after a divorce, I started over. I started this business. It's been right at 9 years. That'll be 54 in January. So I can't imagine starting over again now.
Yeah.
Like at 50. So at 55, I can't imagine. Like even though I've started over, I don't know that I have. I don't know. Maybe I would. I don't know that I have the willpower and the mind. Yeah.
You'd be surprised.
So
it was a gut punch. It took me a month of really just as any trauma. I mean, it came out of nowhere.
Oh,
it was a lot.
So, you talk about trauma, like whenever the economy crashed and I had to sell my house. I had to move in my in-laws for 3 months.
There's a depression that goes in.
Oh, no. And I'm a very high upbeat person. I've always been positive.
Yep.
I couldn't get off the couch for almost 3 months.
I understand that 100.
And like I was in this just like.
It just sneaks up. I mean, it's just like.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're walking different. And
I was like 39 years old.
Yep.
And like I got 3 kids at home.
Yeah.
And I'm having to move in with my in-laws to regroup my life. And then try to find a place and try to find a job and try to, I
major change.
I was, I don't even know how to explain it. Like I was just, and so
numb.
Yeah.
Numb.
And I understand, people go through things and what they have to do is figure out, get up. There
it is.
Get up.
It's all, I love Rocky. And it's that old, I sat there. Mine wasn't a couple months because I have been through it before, unfortunately. And I know the cycle, and I allowed myself to go through it. I mean, there's the pain, the anger, the frustration, the why me's, this wasn't my fault. And the hardest one for me this time was walking by people as they keep trying to take from you, like emotionally. And you're like, I got nothing left.
I'm done.
I'm done. Nothing. And they're still pulling. And you're like, there's nothing left.
Because you're a giver. So you're used to giving.
And they're so used to it. There was a wealth of emotions to always be taken from. And there's times that's where the getaway and the recharge and, because sometimes.
And I can't tell you what made me get up.
Yeah.
But
I do. I know. I finally know. I finally freaking know. I don't know what made me get up, and I finally know. And it didn't come from me, and I didn't learn this. It was taught to me. It was something small, and it got me. You know how you get your brain running? Discipline. Discipline gets us up. Why do I wake up at 4:00 in the morning when I don't want to?
Right.
Why do I apply for ads when I want to have a pity party? I'm losing my business. It doesn't matter. I got to eat, got to feed, I got a child, I got to go. But I don't want to. I want to cry about it like everybody else, but I can't. I got to go. And it's just, give me a shovel, I'll dig a ditch. Where am I going? Hey, can I flip burgers? I mean, go. Motion begins to get my body, my emotions moving. And I always had a saying, motion creates emotion. And I think it's biblical.
I can see that.
Yeah, I don't think I may not even come up with it.
And that's, like I said, I don't really know, but at some point, it was like, I was just laying around on the couch. I was just laying around all day long. And I'm not that kind of person. Like, I will come help you build a fence in your yard than sit around on my couch.
Right.
If you call me and say, hey man, I got to build a fence this weekend, bro, I'm there.
Yeah.
I might ask you what's for lunch, but I'm like, you got burgers on the grill. What are we eating for lunch?
Right.
As long as you feed me,
right.
I'm coming to help you build a fence or whatever. Yeah, you want to remodel a bathroom, whatever.
That's that old school Middleburg mentality.
Yeah, it is. Like, let's have fun. I have fun with that. You know what I mean? I'd rather hang out with you and shoot the crap and help you do something productive
Yeah.
than to sit around. But yeah, it just consumed me, and I literally couldn't get off. Like I was sleeping on the couch because they didn't have bedrooms for me. My kids were in the bedrooms.
Right.
They didn't have a bedroom for me. I put my kids in the bedrooms, and I was sleeping on the couch. And I was just like, I couldn't hardly get off the couch. I don't know if it was 6 weeks, 8 weeks, but and at some point I don't know what it was, but and I got to get back after it. I got to do this.
It's a cycle we have to go through.
Yeah.
And I think your body, it's a death. When I was closing that San Jose store, I mean, I have pictures and there's tears in my eyes. I mean, I remember the memories. I remember the pains. I was all in to open that thing.
You put your heart and soul in it, your passion and your,
So here's what's been floating in my head,
right.
even
What
as
is
you've
it?
been talking, and I've never been on this side, I've watched it in baseball, but I never thought about it in business. I mean, I didn't like open it and then I went away. I was around for a long time, so it wasn't like an open and a failure. It was just an adjustment of the economy. I mean, unfinished real wood furniture is just getting so freaking expensive. Even my daughter buys from IKEA in college.
yeah.
I was so freaking irritated. But they're dropping a ton of money on yours, I guess because they can't get it. There's no other way to do it, right?
Yeah. So the, in the fireplace world, one is we've come a long way, just like cars, cameras, cell phones. It's mind blowing. Like I've been in it 15 years, technically doing fireplaces. What has perspired over the last 5 years is mind blowing. Like I'm like, okay, at some point I'm gonna have to go to college.
The technology.
The technology. I mean, we have smart. We have
do it on your phone.
You can do it on phone.
Nope.
We have. So, what's big in Florida is become two different things. One is electric fireplaces. Electric fireplaces have become. As a matter of fact, I had one of the manufacturers tell me that they sell more electric fireplaces in Florida than the whole rest of the country together.
Heck, they make entertainment centers that hold the fireplace.
Yeah, but those are cheap chintzy ones.
They are.
Like they are. They really
They
are.
are.
I mean, we have electric fireplaces now that are $12,000.
Holy mackerel!
But you come to my showroom.
Yeah.
Come to my showroom and I have 23 electrics on display, and I can show you the difference between a $1,200 electric, a $2,500, a $4,500, and a $12,000.
Right.
Like there's differences, just like cars,
Right.
just like everything else. I mean, you can go get a truck for $45,000, you can get a truck for $60,000, you can get a truck for $85,000, and you can buy a truck for $120,000.
Right.
So there's differences, and so just like a fridge. I mean, there's $800 fridges and there's $4,000 fridges. So, but there's a lot of differences. But even with gas fireplaces, the technology, I have to constantly, because I have, I think 47, 48 fireplaces all on display, and I just got 3 more in. We're fixing to put on displays. We're gonna have over 50.
So you got to go learn.
We're gonna have over 50 fireplaces on display in our showroom there.
Right.
So I have 3,000 square feet inside and 3,000 square feet outside. So I have 6,000 square feet of showroom.
Okay, that's smart. You can your business. You can do it. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
and so everybody's chasing everybody. There's, quite a few different manufacturers. And one of the things that they're coming out with now is called flame log technology. So instead of just being flames, the flames are actually coming out of the logs, and it looks really cool. Looks real. Looks
more
super real, but really cool. So, but the same thing with electrics. Like one of my electric fireplace companies, I have 4 of their fireplaces on display, and they said, hey, we're launching all new models in January. We're going to have a very aggressive program for you to rip all those out, put all the new ones in, because, and so, but because of technology, there's so much coming out and so many new features and cool features, and it's gas fireplaces, it's electric fireplaces. And so we have to keep up with that. We have to keep up with the technology and one of the other things we have now that almost every gas fireplace has is what's called a heat dump system or dynamic heat control, or different manufacturers call it different things. So now I can put a gas fireplace in your house, and I can actually dump the heat out different areas into different rooms. So
Oh,
you
so
can utilize that heat throughout the house,
Right.
or at least get it off your face,
Right.
so that it's going in different
Disperses
areas,
it
dispersing
better.
the heat
Yeah.
better, just like central heat and air.
Right.
Now we have gas fireplaces that we're dispersing the heat. The other thing we have is we have now some that we dump 100% of the heat outside. So in June or July, when it's 100 degrees,
You can still have it
you
burning.
still turn your gas fireplace on and burn it. Yeah.
We getting pretty bougie if we burn a fireplace.
But it's real. So
That is wild.
You know, I've been to the Keys doing fireplaces. I've been to
Okay, that
Sarasota. I've
makes
been to
sense.
Orlando.
Yeah.
So the further south you go,
Yeah.
the less they really need a
That's
fireplace,
crazy.
but they want it.
They want to see that. I mean, I
It's
love the fire.
ambiance.
It is.
You describe one person ever in America that doesn't like a fire.
It doesn't stare at it.
We need to send them outside America. They
You're
don't
right.
belong here. Okay,
You're
that's
right.
just what it is.
You're right.
Everybody loves a fire. A fire. There's two things that mesmerize you: a fish tank and a
Yes.
fire.
That's true.
So you know, everybody just it's actually very calming.
It is.
Like like I think we should put them in some of these places where people are angry.
You're right.
But a fireplace is very calming. It's relaxing, and people love a fire.
Yeah.
And so we're able to provide that in a lot of different avenues and facets. I
Yeah.
mean, whether it's electric or whether it's gas. And some people just love the gas because they like the real flame. Well, now we can put that gas fireplace in your house, but yet dump all the heat out. So
Yeah.
10 months out of the year, you can enjoy it instead of 4.
What, do you have a 5-year vision? I mean, are you one of those vision guys?
I do. I do have a vision, and I'm constantly I'm constantly looking because I'm 53. And here's the other thing: I don't believe in retirement. I think I think that's really. I mean, yeah, it sounds great, and a lot of the younger people are like, oh, I want to retire at 55
Right.
and all that. But you know,
I can't hit a golf ball.
let's say this. I'm gonna put this out there: retirement's not in the Bible. Okay, it's
Yeah.
not there.
No, it's not.
It's not.
No, it's not.
So we're to work.
Yeah.
We are called to work. We're called to serve.
Yeah.
We're all called to serve.
Yeah.
Serve one another. So that's just.
Yeah.
But I enjoy working.
I do
I don't know
too.
if it's weird, crazy, but I
No, I
like
enjoy it.
working. I like, once again, serving people, making people happy. So my 5-year vision is to get. So I don't know if you know this, but I'm working on. I've got a food trailer, and I want to start serving lunch
Right.
at my place and things like that. But my 5-year goal is to get my business running where I can sit around and cook every day and just sample to people and feed people and let them
Right.
try the sauces and the seasonings and just, you know, one of the things I actually did with the chamber. Chamber's been great. We'll go back to that. Chamber's been great.
Yeah.
I did a girls and grills night out with the
Right.
chamber, and I had 40 ladies at the
Right.
at my place. And this is one of the things I've been trying to kick off for 2 years. And the chamber really helped me to see a vision for this. But I want to do like every Thursday night, I want to have, a grill night. And
Yeah.
and what I want to do is I want to have a couples night, and then I want to have a men's night, and I want to have a ladies night, and then I want to have a fitness night, and just all these different events every Thursday where, hey, you know what? For $75, come out, and we're going to talk about how grills work, how to use the grill, how to, different things about
Yeah.
grilling. But at the same time, you're going to get a full meal. We're going to have, some beer and wine and drinks
Yeah.
and water, whatever. But yeah, you come out and we want to limit to like 30 people so that it's a small atmosphere. So,
That'd be dynamic.
well, here's the great thing is we grew up here,
Mhm.
been here our whole lives, but half the people here aren't from here.
Yeah.
They don't know people. So it's also a way for people to meet people, couples to meet couples, single people to meet single people. But while you're doing it, you're learning how to grill. You're
Yeah.
learning, hey, here's how we prep the brisket, or here's how we prep the ribs. And learning how to prep things.
Yep.
You know what most people are scared of? They're scared of a rotisserie on a grill.
Really.
They don't know what how to use a rotisserie. It's really simple.
Right. I love mine.
But
Yeah.
probably 80% of people never use a rotisserie.
Oh.
So it's like, hey, let me show you how to use. It's really simple.
And then you become the expert, and they keep coming back to your store.
Well, and that's the whole thing is you show them things, and there's actually several ladies that were at the Girls and Grills night out, and they will send me a text.
Right.
They're like, oh, check out these pork chops I'm cooking, or hey, look at these ribs I made for my husband.
Right.
And I'm like, yes,
Yes.
yes. You know what I mean? And
Do you do social media with yours as well?
so I do some social media. I started doing videos about 5 or 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I have, of course, a Facebook page for Premier Specialty Service, and then I have a Facebook page for Premier Gas and Grills. But
You know where you would destroy TikTok?
well,
Sitting there
so
talking about
it's-
cooking the way as excited as
yeah,
you
yeah,
are.
yeah.
I
Well,
may
it's
scroll by
funny.
after 20
I
minutes.
didn't even know I had a TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
And one of my guys goes, "Hey, you got a TikTok?" So I can build.
Just go live.
Well, I'm not super tech savvy.
You don't have to be.
I know,
Yeah.
but I could come in this place and get a vision and remodeling it and designing it, and I
Yeah.
can execute it.
Yeah.
I'm really good at building and construction. I'm really good at mechanics, but when it comes to the technology
Right.
of the phone and the
The social media side of
computers,
it.
and I do a lot, but I started doing videos about 6 years ago, and it's so funny because my first video is kind of like, hey,
Exactly.
I'm Todd.
We all did.
Look at this fireplace. You know what I mean? That was my
Yeah.
and as I got into it, it's like, so I don't know if you've seen my tagline or not, but
Yeah.
now I start videos with dynamite. And then I come in and I'm like,
Right.
so it's evolved.
Yeah.
And so no, and it's funny because it's funny you say that TikTok. I actually was like, oh, I got TikTok. I didn't know this. He's like, yeah, you got some videos on there. I'm like, I didn't know.
Oh, yeah. And you
You-
keep
you-
putting them up.
right,
You
right.
break them up. Use CapCut. Let the AIs break it up for you.
Oh, hold on. I got to text somebody. Sorry.
You're all right. We're about to wrap up anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, you're good. Yep. I got somebody cooking me dinner.
So let
They're
me ask you
cooking me
something,
dinner. I
Todd.
got to respond.
If you got somebody getting into business, it doesn't matter what business it is. You got a young person getting into business. Do you dive right in and figure it out, or go work with somebody and learn?
So here's what I would say. And I'll tell you this. One of the things I love to do, I don't care if you're going to be my competitor.
Mm-hmm.
You're not I'm my competitor. If I do my job right, I don't have to worry about you. If you want to go start fireplaces tomorrow, no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But for anyone looking to start a business, what I would say is count the cost.
The real cost.
Count the cost. It's not just the financial.
Yep.
If you're not willing, here's why I think 5 out of 10 businesses fail. Because I think 70% of businesses fail.
Yep.
But I think 50% of them fail because people aren't willing to work. They're not willing to work. When I started this, I'd be up at 5 a.m. I'd get a little bit done. I'd get my kids out when they were home that week. And then I'd go out in the field and I'd work 8 to 4 in the field. Then I would come home. I would unload. I'd get cleaned up.
Right.
I would cook dinner for the kids if they were around and do all those things. Then I'd get on a computer at 9 p.m. I would send out emails. I'd send out estimates. I'd be on a computer till 1:30 in the morning, and then getting back up at 4:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what some people don't see. If you see anybody that's 15 to 20 years in the business, and you see that they're successful and they're doing well, and they have a big boat and they have all the things.
Yeah.
They have all the things. You didn't see the 10 years
Yeah.
they put in, because I would tell you it takes 10 years to build a business.
Yeah.
10 years. So you got to be willing to give 10 years. Now, yeah, there's a success story here and
Sure.
there, and social media or
Oh, it's changed the
internet,
game.
it's changed the game. But
These
the
TikTok
truth,
shops and whatnot.
Well, but it's just like this, okay? I don't even watch football a lot, but what do you get? How many pro teams are there? 26? I don't know.
32.
32.
34.
So there's only 32 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Okay. 32 stars.
Yeah.
And each one has 2 backups. So there's 96 quarterbacks.
Yep.
But you have 40,000 people graduating high school every year that are quarterbacks or whatever it is. I mean,
Yeah.
like when you think about it, if there's 40,000 high schools across the nation,
Yep.
every one of them has a quarterback for the football team.
Yep.
So you go from 40,000 and then say there's 10,000 colleges that need a quarterback. So now you're down to 1 out of 4 are going to get a job as a quarterback at a college.
Baseball's even worse.
And then you break it down to, and then you go to pro.
Yeah.
So then you go from, your 1 in 4 chance to a 1 in 1,000 chance of going to
Yeah.
pro, whatever. So those statistics are real in every facet, but I don't know where I was going with that. But
Well, I'll tell you what it ties me
it-
into is my son's baseball and how many guys you'll never know that were the greatest pitchers that'll never make it to MLB.
never make it.
And as my business, as I had to make adjustments, I was realizing, wow, will I ever get? And there's the doubt starts sneaking. And so for me, it's just the next right thing.
Yeah.
That's what
But-
saves me.
But they just got to be willing to grind. They
Yeah.
got to be willing to give it their all, and you do have to sacrifice.
Yeah.
I sacrificed in a lot of ways financially. It was a grind, and here's the other thing: if you're not a risk taker, you don't need to go into business.
And I think
You've got to
you're
take
right.
risk. I take risk that I literally jump on a moving train sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, I understand that.
And just go with it, and it doesn't always work out.
Yep.
But and that's one of the things that I got a couple of guys that work for me, and sometimes it's good because they help me, because I'm like, I might try 5 new things this year, and 1 or 2 of them really just, I spent $30,000
Yeah.
to try this, and it doesn't work. Well, $30,000, you know
A
what I
lot
mean?
of money.
But if I didn't try anything or take risk on anything, or just, I would never be where I'm at.
Yeah.
And
I think one of the biggest things you said was debt free. We don't do it anymore in America.
Oh no.
And you
So-
can weather a lot debt free.
You can weather a lot. So I started this company, technically 2016,
Mm-hmm.
and I jumped out fully in it 2017. So
Mhm.
I've been fully in it 8+ years. And one of the things that I promised myself was not to go in debt,
Mm.
not to go in debt, pay cash, pay cash, pay cash, pay cash. And that's what I've done.
That was my father.
I have done that. It's been hard.
Yep. Took him longer,
It takes longer,
but when you get there,
but I'm not. I guess there's 2 ways. You can be in debt and have cash flow,
mm-hmm.
or you can not be in debt and not have the big cash flow.
Right.
And so, but I have, I have 7 trucks, 11 trailers, 300,000 in inventory.
Right.
And I have never, ever borrowed a dollar.
That's awesome.
And it's just been grinding,
Yep.
working hard, being smart with money.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of ways to do that. Like I look for freight programs.
Right.
Hey, if I'm buying 5 from you, but if I buy 6 of this product, I get free freight.
Right.
Well, that product was $600,
But it's 15%.
but the
it's 20.
freight was $300. So I just
Yeah.
got that extra one for only $3. Like
Yeah.
just being smart, learning the programs, like understanding your business,
Yeah.
shopping,
Yeah.
and and not always being the cheap. Like you can't always go cheap. Like your internet coming in your building, you can't go cheap. You need that internet.
I always used to go, listen, you cannot have price and quality and service if you have low price, your quality or your service can go with it. If you have
Exactly.
high price, then you can have quality and service.
Exactly.
You get what you pay for.
Yep. And that has been my theory is over the last 8 years, any customer I ever discounted my job for, I regretted it.
Always the headache.
Always the headache.
Always the
Yep.
headache.
So I don't. And if somebody's like, well, can you, hey, how about, whatever
No.
it is, it's like, no, I'm not interested. Find somebody else.
Yeah. I
If
agree.
you want the one-man band, the guy that's
Yeah.
going to pull up in his pickup truck that has no showroom, has no insurance, has no, hire that guy.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm, if he can beat my price by 15%, it's because, he has no overhead as far as a showroom. He has, I have a full
They
staff.
don't realize what happens if somebody gets injured at their house. People don't realize how big of a deal it is.
What's crazy is probably 70% of the people doing lawns out there are not insured.
They're not.
And if they get hurt on somebody's property,
And I know of one in Orange Park that is he does insurance hits. Like they get hurt on your properties, and if you don't have insurance, I mean, it was crazy.
yeah.
I mean, it's what some people will do for money.
Oh no, and it's and that people don't understand. It's liability insurance, workers' comp insurance. All these
Expensive.
things add up, and I tell people a lot of times I'm not getting most of the money you're paying me. I'm not getting.
No doubt.
I'm just turning around and giving that to the auto insurance,
No
the workers' comp insurance, the liability insurance.
No
Like
doubt.
I
I don't want to get lost in the weeds.
yeah.
Listen, this is good business talk, but I want to make sure I stay home with.
Okay.
One, thank you so much for your time here,
No,
for
I
your
appreciate it.
wisdoms. If there's anybody that has a passion for grills and meats and food, it's you. And you make me want to go out and buy and sell grills. But I also think there's a lot of business knowledge in here as people listen to this. If they'll go through this whole episode, the debt free is big. I've seen that work in my father's life and other solid businessmen's lives. So
And it is not what the world is teaching today, even for personal, just go in debt. And so, but if I had 7 truck payments, I have 0 truck payments.
tell me about it.
If I had 7 truck payments, the stress that would be.
And then you let business take a little bit of a downturn.
Dip turn. Yeah.
Yep.
And so, I am frugal in many ways. And like one of the things I bought my trucks basically from auctions or from different areas that, a good work truck that's been maintained that has 100,000 miles on it still has 200,000 to go.
Yeah.
So
You've been frugal with your money.
yeah. So yeah,
You know where to spend it and where not to. But I mean, it was trial
and
and
I'd love to have all new trucks. It'd be beautiful to have a whole new fleet.
Yeah.
But I don't ever want that feeling of that, And it's a good feeling.
Yeah.
It's really a good feeling. So
I look forward to getting back to it, Tom.
yeah, man.
Hey, thank you so much.
Thank you for having
what
me
a
out.
pleasure.
And,
Hang on a second. We're gonna roll out of here with our all about the grind.
I learned
No.
to stay strong. Concrete in the dirt.
Y'all got to
Yeah.
listen to the whole thing.
I learned to stay strong. Concrete in
Todd
the dirt
Knowles.
I was raised on.
I'll have all
Know
his
how to
info
put in
from his
work.
business and
Grinding all
everything
day,
on here.
you know it's
Thank
game
y'all.
on.
Subscribe
My
and
skin
share.
is tough.
Out.
Running, yeah, we stay alive. Ain't gotta look nowhere else.
Take 'em off.
All of this
Yeah, we're
greatness
still live.
inside.
Till I get this thing turned off. That was good. Let me tell you, let me get this thing. I'll tell you when we're turned off.